The UK is not only known for its rich history and iconic landmarks, but also for its haunted locations. Some of its old courtrooms hold chilling secrets, with tales of restless spirits, eerie whispers, and ghostly figures. These haunted courts reveal a darker side to Britain's historic justice system. Now we will visit the most haunted courts in the UK. Number 1. The Old Bailey. The Old Bailey in London is not just one of the most important criminal courts in the UK, but also one of the most haunted. Standing on the site of the infamous Newgate prison, this historic court has seen countless trials, public executions, and dark stories since the 17th century. With such a grim past, it's no surprise that many believe the Old Bailey is filled with restless spirits. One of the most terrifying legends is that of the Black Dog of Newgate, a ghostly hound said to haunt the area where prisoners were once held. According to old tales, this beast appears before a death, stalking the halls with glowing eyes and an unearthly growl. Many court staff and visitors have reported hearing chains dragging, screams echoing, and footsteps in empty corridors. Some claim to have seen the ghost of condemned prisoners, still wandering the courtrooms, searching for justice. One such spirit is believed to be that of Elizabeth Fry, a famous prison reformer, seen praying in the old cells. There are chilling reports of cold spots in certain parts of the building, sudden drops in temperature even in summer, and feelings of being watched. Security guards on night shifts have refused to enter some areas alone, especially the old holding cells beneath the court. A dark energy still lingers in the very walls of the Old Bailey. The heavy atmosphere, strange occurrences, and tales passed down over centuries make it a terrifying place. It's not just a court of law, it's a place where the past refuses to stay silent. Some say justice was not always served here, and the dead have come back to remind us. Number 2. Albans Crown Court. Albans Crown Court in Hertfordshire may look like a typical place of justice, but behind its walls hides a chilling history filled with ghostly tales and terrifying encounters. Built near the ruins of the ancient Albans Abbey and sitting on land steeped in centuries of bloodshed and punishment, this court is said to be haunted by more than just memories. One of the most famous legends is that of a woman wrongfully executed in the 18th century. Locals say her spirit never left. Her ghost has been seen drifting through the corridors, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, her face pale with sorrow. Some claim to hear her soft weeping at night, echoing through the empty halls of the courthouse. Court staff have also reported doors slamming shut on their own, cold gusts of wind in sealed rooms, and flickering lights with no electrical explanation. A few even claim to have seen a shadowy figure standing silently at the back of the courtroom during trials, disappearing the moment someone looks twice. There are stories of phantom footsteps walking up the wooden stairs, only to vanish halfway. Security guards have shared experiences of being watched by an unseen presence, especially in the old holding cells beneath the court. Some refuse to go there alone after dark. People believe the heavy atmosphere in certain rooms isn't just from the serious nature of the cases tried there, but from the trapped souls still lingering. The echoes of injustice, pain, and punishment seem to have soaked into the walls of Albans Crown Court. This isn't just a place of justice, it's a place where the past still walks among the living. Number 3. Bodmin Jail Courtroom. Hidden in the rugged hills of Cornwall, Bodman Jail Courtroom is a place where justice once echoed and where spirits may still linger. Built in 1779, Bodman Jail was once a feared prison and courthouse, holding some of the country's darkest secrets. Today, it's known as one of the most haunted places in the UK, especially its eerie courtroom. This courtroom witnessed hundreds of trials, many ending in death sentences. The air still feels thick with sorrow, fear, and the cries of those who never got a second chance. Paranormal investigators and visitors alike have reported strange experiences here, unexplained cold spots, phantom whispers, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched. One of the most chilling tales is that of Selina Wadge, a woman who was sentenced to death here in 1878 for the murder of her child. Her ghost is often seen in the courtroom and nearby halls, sobbing, and begging for forgiveness. Some visitors have felt a gentle tug on their clothing, believed to be Selena's spirit reaching out. Others have claimed to see the shadowy figure of a judge sitting at the bench, even when the courtroom is empty. He appears briefly and vanishes without a trace. Disembodied voices, heavy footsteps, and even screams have been recorded in this room during ghost hunts. The courtroom sits above the original execution pit, where prisoners were taken to meet their fate. This chilling fact adds to the heavy, disturbing energy that surrounds the entire area. Bodmin Jail Courtroom is more than just a historical site. It's a haunting reminder of justice, suffering, and spirits that never moved on. Number 4. Shrewsbury Crown Court. Shrewsbury Crown Court in Shropshire is not only one of the oldest courts in Britain, it is also believed to be one of the most haunted. Built in the early 1800s and attached to the old Shrewsbury prison, this court has a long, dark history of trials, sentences, and public hangings. Its chilling past has left behind more than just records. It's left behind ghosts. One of the most terrifying tales involves the ghost of a judge, seen by many walking through the courtroom in full robes. He is said to appear just before something tragic happens. Witnesses describe the courtroom turning icy cold before the figure appears, and then vanishes into thin air. Beneath the court are old holding cells where prisoners once waited for their fate. These cold, damp rooms are filled with paranormal activity. Staff and visitors report disembodied voices, heavy footsteps, and even the sound of rattling chains. Some have claimed to feel invisible hands grab them or push them while walking through the corridors. Another chilling legend speaks of a young woman wrongly convicted and sentenced here. Her spirit is often seen near the old staircases, her face pale and eyes full of sorrow. Many have heard her soft cries echoing late at night. Security staff working night shifts often refuse to go alone into certain parts of the building. Lights flicker, shadows move across the walls, and a strange sense of dread fills the air. Shrewsbury Crown Court is more than just a place of justice. It is a place where the past refuses to rest. Every creaking floorboard and cold breeze might be a reminder of a soul still seeking peace. Number 5. Oxford Crown Court. Oxford Crown Court, located inside the historic Oxford Castle, is one of the oldest and most haunted court buildings in the UK. With over 1,000 years of dark history, this place has seen executions, cruel punishments, and terrifying events that have left a chilling mark on its walls. Today, it's not just a place of law, it's a place where the dead are said to still walk. Originally built in the 11th century, Oxford Castle once served as a prison and execution site. The Crown Court was added later, and it's here where countless trials took place, many ending in death. The energy of fear, injustice, and pain still lingers, especially in the courtroom and underground cells. One of the most famous ghosts is Mary Blandy, who was hanged in 1752 for poisoning her father. Her spirit has been seen roaming the old prison and near the courtroom, dressed in old-fashioned clothes, her face pale and sorrowful. Visitors have reported hearing her crying, whispering, and even calling out names. The underground tunnels beneath the court are even more terrifying. Cold, damp, and full of shadows, they once held prisoners before trial. Many ghost hunters report strange footsteps, whispers in the dark, and sudden drops in temperature. Some say they've seen ghostly figures vanish through walls. Court staff and visitors often feel an eerie presence watching them. Doors open on their own, lights flicker, and objects move without explanation. Oxford Crown Court isn't just a building, it's a haunted chapter of England's justice system. The spirits of the past remain trapped in its halls, reminding everyone who enters that justice wasn't always fair, and some souls never found peace. Number 6. Derby Crown Court. Derby Crown Court, once part of the old Derby Jail, is known not only for its history of justice, but also for its terrifying reputation as one of the most haunted courtrooms in the UK. Located in Derbyshire, this court stands on land where many lost their lives, often under cruel and unjust circumstances. The darkness of its past still clings to its walls. and many believe the spirits of the condemned never left. The old jail was once home to harsh punishments, public executions, and gruesome deaths. Prisoners were held in terrible conditions beneath the court, where they awaited their trial or their hanging. These underground cells are now infamous for their paranormal activity. Visitors have reported hearing screams, moans, and chains dragging, even when no one is there. One of the most terrifying ghosts said to haunt Derby Crown Court is that of a young man wrongly hanged for theft. His ghostly figure has been seen near the old gallows site, and many claim to feel his sadness and anger. Another common sighting is the spirit of a hooded judge who appears in the courtroom before vanishing into the air. Staff have spoken of papers flying off desks, doors slamming shut, and unseen hands touching their shoulders. The atmosphere inside the court can turn icy cold without warning. Some people feel an overwhelming sense of dread as soon as they enter the building. Ghost hunters and paranormal investigators have captured unexplained voices and shadows on camera, confirming what many locals already believe: Derby Crown Court is truly haunted. This place is more than just a courtroom. It's a chilling reminder of justice, death, and the spirits that never found peace. Number 7. Norwich Crown Court. Norwich Crown Court in Norfolk is not just a place of law and justice. It's a location steeped in dark history and haunted legends. Built near the site of the old Norwich Castle, which served for centuries as a prison and execution ground, the court is surrounded by chilling stories that continue to frighten staff and visitors to this day. One of the most terrifying tales involves the spirits of prisoners who were executed nearby. These souls are said to still haunt the underground passages and old holding cells beneath the court. People report hearing chains dragging, footsteps in empty corridors, and whispers in the dark. Some even claim to feel a ghostly hand brush against them in the narrow stairwells. The courtroom itself is no stranger to strange activity. Court workers have seen shadowy figures sitting in the gallery or standing silently in the corners, vanishing as soon as they're noticed. One well-known ghost is believed to be a former judge who still appears in full robes, silently observing proceedings, especially during serious trials. There are also stories of a woman in a black veil seen wandering the corridors. Some say she was a grieving mother who watched her son wrongly sentenced to death centuries ago. Her cries have been heard echoing through the empty hallways late at night. Cold spots, flickering lights, and strange knocking sounds are all common experiences inside Norwich Crown Court. Even seasoned security guards admit they feel uncomfortable working alone after dark. With its grim past and spine-chilling stories, Norwich Crown Court stands as one of the most haunted courts in the UK, a place where justice was once served with finality and where the dead seem to have never left. Number 8. Durham Crown Court. Durham Crown Court in County Durham is often considered one of the most haunted courts in the UK. Located within the historic Durham Castle, this court has witnessed centuries of trials, executions, and grim tales of justice. Its eerie reputation is tied to both its haunted past and the chilling energy that still lingers in its walls today. The castle, which once served as a prison, has a history of executions, making it a prime location for paranormal activity. One of the most frightening stories is that of the prisoner of Durham, a man who was wrongfully sentenced to death. His spirit is said to haunt the cells beneath the court, with visitors claiming to hear chains rattling, screams, and unexplained footsteps in the dark corridors. Some believe his restless soul still roams the halls, seeking justice that was never served. Another legend centers around a ghostly figure of a judge who appears in the courtroom. Witnesses have described him as wearing a black robe and staring into the courtroom with an unsettling, piercing gaze. Those who've seen him say the room turns cold, and they feel an overwhelming sense of dread just before he vanishes into thin air. Security guards working late shifts have also shared unsettling stories of moving shadows and doors slamming shut with no one around. Cold drafts, flickering lights, and eerie whispers are common occurrences in certain parts of the court. The old cells, the oppressive atmosphere, and the dark history make Durham Crown Court a place where the dead seem to refuse to rest. It's not just a place of law, it's a place where the spirits of the past remain trapped, reminding all who enter of the justice, pain, and suffering once experienced within its walls. Number 9. Exeter Crown Court. Exeter Crown Court in Devon is considered one of the most haunted courthouses in the UK, with a chilling reputation that has grown over the years. The court stands on the grounds of a site that has a long, dark history, and it's no surprise that many believe it is haunted by the spirits of those who suffered here. One of the most terrifying stories involves the ghost of a condemned man. Executed for a crime he didn't commit, his spirit is said to still walk the courtrooms, lingering near the bench where his fate was sealed. Witnesses have described seeing his ghostly figure standing in the corner of the room, disappearing as soon as anyone tries to approach. Many say they can feel a heavy presence in the courtroom, especially during trial days. Beneath the court, in the old holding cells, there have been countless reports of strange noises, including chains rattling, whispers, and the sound of footsteps echoing down the damp corridors. It's said that the souls of former prisoners who awaited their fate in these very rooms still roam the underground areas, unable to find peace. Some visitors claim to have felt cold hands touch their shoulders, while others report sudden drops in temperature in certain parts of the building. The judicial robes of the ghostly figure of a judge have been spotted late at night in the courtroom, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Security staff, too, have shared stories of hearing doors slamming on their own, objects moving mysteriously, and a strange sense of dread filling the air as the night grows late. The entire building feels like it's steeped in a past full of suffering, injustice, and lingering spirits. Exeter Crown Court may still serve as a place of law, but for many, it's a reminder of the spirits trapped in its dark, haunted past. Number 10. Cardiff Crown Court. Cardiff Crown Court in Wales is considered one of the most haunted courthouses in the UK. Situated in the heart of Cardiff, the court occupies the site of the old Cardiff prison, which dates back to the 18th century. With a long history of executions, trials, and suffering, it's no surprise that many believe the court is home to restless spirits who still haunt its corridors today. One of the most chilling stories is that of the ghost of a prisoner who was executed here in the 1800s. His spirit is said to appear on the steps of the courthouse, wandering aimlessly in his prison clothes. Witnesses have reported hearing his footsteps echoing, only to find the steps empty when they turn around. Some even claim to hear his screams at night, a reminder of his tragic fate. Another haunting is that of the spirit of a judge who allegedly appears in the courtroom itself. Described as wearing an old-fashioned black robe, this ghostly figure is seen walking around the bench, silently observing the proceedings. His presence is often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of unease and a sudden drop in temperature, leaving those in the room feeling watched and uncomfortable. Staff working late shifts often report strange occurrences, such as doors slamming shut by themselves, lights flickering, and mysterious shadows moving across the walls. The basement, where old holding cells were once located, is particularly notorious for being a hotspot of paranormal activity. People who enter claim to hear chains rattling, soft whispers, and sometimes the faint sound of footsteps behind them, even though no one else is around. Cardiff Crown Court is not just a place of justice. It is a place where the ghosts of the past refuse to rest, making it one of the most terrifying and haunted courthouses in the UK.